Welcome to the Forging Podcast, where our mission is to forge guys into godly husbands, fathers, men, and leaders in their communities. We push out of our comfort zone, face our fears, and grow stronger every day. We strive to be selfless providers, dangerous protectors, loving husbands, fathers, and friends. I hope you all enjoy the podcast.
That's the first time I'd heard of them, too. It's kind of a weird name.
Yeah, chet it for primers. All right, whatever. But I mean, Winchester, I don't know if I've loaded with any Federal. Winchester and CCI, those are my go-tos.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't had any issues out of those.
Used to. That's all you ever seen was CCI.
Yeah, well,
and then COVID happened, and,
yeah,
you know, then it was get whatever you can, and I ended up with a bunch of Federals.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's still probably really
good. They're good. Match, you know, Federal gold match, so they're good. It's just, I don't know if I had seen anything else besides CCI until after.
Really?
Yeah, because I started out, you going small, you know, you're buying like two or three of them at a time.
Yeah.
And you go into Academy, and that's all there is, you know.
Okay, yeah.
But then you get to scouring the internet, and it's whatever you can get.
Well, and ordering primers off the internet's a nightmare because you've got to pay the hazmat fee, which is another $35 on top of already expensive primers.
So I had a local guy, running UPS, and he pulls up, and of course it's got all those warnings on it and stuff. He said, "What are you doing? You making a bomb?"
No, I'm just trying to reload some ammunition. No big deal. Yeah, man, it's crazy. So you can, of course, I remember when you could get a little pack of 100 CCIs, I think for like $10 or something.
Shoot, I thought they were cheaper than that.
It might have been.
I thought it was like $3 or something for a pack of 100.
Man, it might have been.
That's why I would only, get them. And then COVID happened, and you can't find them things anywhere. It was like gold, you know.
Well, shoot, I'm trying to remember. I started reloading back when Obama first got in, and it was pretty cheap back then. But then, you know, with all this threatening of guns being taken away and then going after ammunition and this and that, everybody got into reloading, and then you couldn't get primers for nothing through certain seasons.
Yeah, everybody
COVID.
I
mean, you couldn't get toilet paper during COVID, so that was,
Man, you want to talk about a weird time?
What happened?
I mean, we ain't worried about food or anything like that. It's toilet paper.
Yeah. What happened that made people say we have to have all the toilet paper?
I tell you, human beings are a strange creature.
Man,
you know,
I thought
when panic hits, you never know.
Like
toilet paper. Could be toenail clippers next time. I mean,
you never knows.
But it wasn't food. Oh, what? I don't get it.
I don't know. And we go through so much toilet paper at home. The kids, I think the kids need a whole roll for one time of going to the bathroom. I just, my wife will order cases.
One bathroom trip is a whole roll.
It's like, what are you doing in there that requires a whole roll of toilet paper? Seriously, are you eating it while you're waiting, or I don't get it.
I think that's a woman thing.
Maybe our little foster boy, he doesn't go potty on the toilet yet, so I don't know for him. But all I got's girls, so that's all I know is to gauge it off of that. And maybe it is just a woman thing.
I think so.
From birth till death.
I don't know. My mother-in-law apparently uses a ton of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hope that nobody is listening and tells her that.
Well, I mean, I don't know why, but apparently my father-in-law, who's passed now, used to complain about it all the time, about how much she used. Like she had to make a towel or something.
Yeah, well, hey, you got to keep your hands protected when it's down there.
I think this
don't
was
need any
mostly
residuals.
Number one.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Oh, man.
Just take it and jerk it.
At that point, if you need that much toilet paper, just get in the shower.
Yeah.
At that point. That's the way I do it. If it's like that bad and messy, I'm finally like, you know what? I'm just going to get a shower.
Take a shower.
Then I'll be totally clean. What a way to start this podcast off. Well, welcome back, guys, to the Forging Podcast, where we're talking about reloading and using excessive amounts of toilet paper.
Yeah.
But, God help us if we have another pandemic, because, like you said, it'll probably be toenail clippers.
It could be anything.
It could be like tires or something.
how random is toilet paper? That
And
people
COVID
freak
didn't
out
cause
about.
people to go to the bathroom excessively.
I know it.
You
Well,
lost smell and taste.
Why toilet paper?
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard people say, like, oh, well, somebody on the news said something about this or that, and that's what caused it. I have no idea what caused the toilet paper
I
run.
went and bought one of them things that we could hook up and wash off with. I sure did during that time.
What do you mean?
Well, one of them French things, them bidets or whatever. I told Courtney, I said, don't worry.
Wow.
I got us one of them things.
You got a
If
bidet.
if we can't get toilet paper, I'll hook them up and
Man.
we'll be good.
Have you used that?
No, it's still in the shop. I've used them in a.
I've never
I've
used
them on
one.
vacation.
I'm
though,
afraid to use
and
one.
they are. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna get shouted down for this.
Oh, I
but
hope so.
They are awesome.
You're gonna get roasted.
It-
I hope
it's awesome.
I hope your cousin's listening.
You just, you do your business or whatever, and you just sit there and let it do its business, and use the toilet paper to dry off, and on you go.
I don't know, man. I'm afraid of some jet shooting at my nether
Well, it's
regions.
not like it's coming out
I
at
don't
100
know.
psi or anything.
I don't know.
It's
I
just
ain't
a-
willing to test it.
It's just a washer,
Just a wa-
Yeah, like those old drink fountains.
A drinking
It's
fountain.
about
Yeah.
like that.
It's like that. Well, how does that wash anything off?
Well, I mean, you just use the time. Just let it do its thing. Just sit there a little longer.
I don't know. That's just weird. It's just weird to me to have something running on my honey hind like that. I
get it. I was a little weirded out too, but after I tried it, it was the best thing ever.
So then why don't you put yours in your house?
I need to. Courtney's kind of freaked out by it too, but I need to.
Yeah, understandably so. Because it's kind of weird having a little jet squirting at your hiney hind.
But if you think about it, think about this logically. What else do you wash and not use water?
Well,
Like if you go in and you got mud or oil or something on your
Yeah.
hands, you just use a towel or paper towel and then that's it. Your hands ain't clean after that.
it depends on what you're doing. I remember when I was a mechanic at a golf course. My hands would be black with grease.
Yeah.
And I would just go right to eating. I'd pick up my
Yeah, I
fries,
know.
my
Yeah,
sandwich,
I
and
do
all that, and it's
too.
like
Yeah.
everything just turned black, but I didn't
Chickens
care.
is
I got a
different, though.
good
Don't
immune
do
system.
it with chickens.
No,
Yeah, you got to wash your hands after you've been in the chicken house.
yeah, probably. They got all kinds of diseases. But I don't know.
Not anymore.
I don't mind
Nonsense.
taking a shower and washing myself, but I don't have jets spraying right at it. You know what I mean? Like,
What?
I don't.
Say that again.
I take a shower
Yeah.
and wash my whole body, but
Yeah.
I don't have a jet aimed right at
Well, it ain't going in you.
I don't, man. Well, see, that's what I don't know. I ain't never run one.
It ain't.
It's funny. So my stepdad was a plumber forever, and they had a big business down in Florida, and they had this one guy, Johnny, that was their service guy, and I guess he installed a bidet for somebody, like an actual toilet bidet, not just the addition to your toilet
Yeah.
seat, but like the whole thing you sit on. So he gets done hooking it up, and he was thirsty. So he's like, well, I'm going to take a drink. I mean, it's brand new. It's brand new. So he was drinking.
I don't care if
He
it's
was
brand
drinking.
new.
And the customer walked in.
Oh my gosh.
So
I would have kicked him out of my house, I think.
I guess they didn't find that too amusing. They called my stepdad because he was him and Grandpa was the runners of the business. Called him, and of course my stepdad is such
Is
a
that
character.
30 of the sinks right there? He's in a bathroom.
But what's the difference if it's brand new?
I don't care. It's a toilet.
I've installed brand new toilets and washed my hands off in them. It's a toilet. It ain't been urinated in. It hasn't been.
I can't do it.
Hasn't had any brownies dropped in it.
It's still a toilet.
Either way, the customer walked in and was not thrilled by what they saw.
I'm sure.
So they called. My stepdad's like, "Oh man, I can't believe he would do that. I'm gonna have a talk with him." And then, of course, when he shows up, my stepdad's laughing and they joke about it because he didn't actually care. He thought it was funny. So, but it is pretty hilarious.
Talking about the, shoot going up in you.
Yeah.
We used to have jet skis when we were younger. And this one, Tyler was on the back of mine trying to flip it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just stabbed the gas, and he was on the, trying to roll it over, and he hit the water just like that.
Oh man!
And the jets
right in.
Yeah,
washed them out. Colon cleanse. Oh man,
that was pretty funny.
We went downhill really quick with this.
Yeah,
with this intro.
Yeah, we did.
Especially with what we're about to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm gonna have to apologize to some people.
Before we get into what you was going to talk about, I got to go to the forging event.
Oh, did you?
Oh,
you know what? I'm glad you told me that.
Yeah, they. I had something come up. I didn't get there till about halfway through. So
really? Okay.
Yeah, but it was still really good. I got to see Sam and all them ate lunch with Chandler and them guys. Man, they're just killing it up there.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I hate that I missed.
Super proud of them. Wish I could get up there more often. But you want to talk about a bunch of manly men that love Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's really encouraging and good to be around.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam called me cornbread. I wasn't too happy about that.
Weren't too happy about that?
Yeah,
I mean...
And it's not beneath me to hit a preacher.
Oh, snap. Sam, you hear that? I hope you're listening, Sam. Because that's some fighting words there. You better be careful around Brett, man. He's a pretty tough dude, You better stop picking on Brett, Sam. He might be coming for you. You never know. You better keep your head on a swivel.
About maybe getting up another camping trip.
Yeah.
And, float the creek and camping.
That would be awesome.
And it ain't gonna be just too much longer till the weather's getting about right to do that.
Yeah.
And I would really enjoy that. We've been talking about it for a long time.
Where would you do it, on Bear Creek?
Oh yeah, got to.
Yeah.
We'll do that. We'll camp at the Chief's Hole like we did last time. Last time we did that trip, we were talking about it up there. Michael was already saved, but the rest of the crew was not. Me and John went on to bed, but all the drinks came out, and
the fun stuff come out.
And Chandler was saying, "Man, this time," he said, "when we do it this time, we're bringing our Bibles and not the
alcohol,
not all the beer." He said it's going to be so much more fun.
Man, well, I better get an invite on this trip.
Yeah, yeah. I hope sincerely that happens. It's so hard to do anything. Everybody's so busy, but
this just seems to be an excessively busy
you
year
ain't
for
kidding.
some reason.
Everybody seems to be that way.
I don't get it.
I know me and you have talked about the things we got going on, but I mean, talked to Jason, the guy who taught me how to fly. He's the same way.
Really?
And it just, everybody I talk to seems to be just drowning right now, and just so busy.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on with that, but it seems to be everybody I talk to.
Yeah. Well, and for business owners, that's a good thing if it's work-related busyness.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for us, usually the harder we have to work, the less money we're making usually.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different for chicken farmers, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It just I don't know if something. I don't know if this is something going on with the groanings of Jesus coming back or what, but
Yeah.
everybody, I'm telling you, everybody that I talk to is saying the same things.
Yeah.
So I really hope that we're able to do that.
Yeah.
That's
Me too.
That's
That
a
would
good
be
thing.
amazing.
Men need to do that.
Yeah.
Need to do stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I've even threatened my wife. I says, don't be surprised if one day I call you and I'm heading somewhere for a few days and I ain't coming back for a minute. Because
We're getting to go to the beach here soon, and
Are you?
I'm pumped.
Yeah?
Yes. Can't wait.
I just don't get excited about the beach.
Well, you lived on the beach. That's
Yeah.
why.
I did. I spent some time on it.
I get to go
Fished
out there
it.
and go free diving and all that.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
fun.
Like, I could care less about the sand part, sitting on the sand, doing all that mess. But like when we go down there, I like to go paddleboarding and fishing, and
I'm all about the water. That's why
being
I
in the
go.
water is where it's at.
Yep.
Being on
I'm
the
the
beach
same.
is not where it's at.
I'm the same.
That's just an oven.
Yeah, I
Just
come up
roasting.
on the beach just to rest
Yeah.
and play with the kids and help Courtney with whatever she needs. But then as soon as I get a minute, I'm back
You're out,
back
yeah.
out in the water.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun. But see, when we go paddleboarding and stuff, we don't even go to a beach. We go somewhere where you can a little cutoff where you can get down to the
Yeah.
little inlets and stuff
Mm-hmm.
and go out that way. But
I've seen some YouTube videos where you can see some crazy stuff in them things.
yeah.
Like manatees and
Oh yeah, last time I was down there, I ran right over top of one.
really?
No, I mean I was on a paddleboard, so it's not like I did anything. But I was paddleboarding. I'm like, coming up on this, like, what the world's that? And I was probably only in 8 feet of water, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, daggone manatee. And it, like, by the time my nose got right by it, it kind of picked up and moseyed on down the waterway.
Yeah.
Did its thing. But I see one about every time we go paddleboarding. You see a manatee.
I seen one either last year or the year before. It's the first one I ever seen.
Yeah.
Thing looked like a submarine going
Yeah,
through
it's
the
like
water.
a giant turd
Yeah.
swimming through the water.
It was huge.
Yeah, they're massive, man.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah, it was definitely bigger than my paddleboard. But, of course, it was funny because we had to cross the intercoastal waterway. I don't remember if I said this on the podcast after I got back or not, but we crossed the intercoastal waterway to get to where we were going. We went out by Midnight Pass, which is, because of the storms that came through, was a year or two ago, whatever it was, opened it back up. They had it closed off. So it got opened back up. So we paddleboarded out there so we could check that out. And we had to cross the intercoastal to get to it. And on our way back, we went out early, so there wasn't a lot of boats on the water. Well, when we were coming back, there's a lot more boats on the water. So we had to, like, hurry up and paddle across the intercoastal in between boats flying by. And so the board I was on, I was actually able to stand up on because, daggum, it's kind of hard to balance on some of them boards
Yeah, I
standing
was
up.
going to say that.
Yeah, some of them are easy, and some of them are
I've done
more
it
difficult.
once, and it was not real easy.
Yeah, well, my buddy's got a boat brand, and so it's just like a wider. It just seems like it's a better build of a paddleboard. And the one I was on was an inflatable one, but I mean, I was able to stand up on that one. Where last year when I went down, I used one that they got from like Amazon or something, and I could stand on it, but it was a lot of wobbling and shaking. And it's
Yeah.
like, you're tired, so
Yeah.
I just would sit down and paddle like a kayak kind
Yeah.
of thing. But either way, we were coming back across the intercoastal, and I didn't take into the account for the boats passing by behind us and their wakes catching up with us.
Yeah.
So I made it through, got to the other side. I'm like, sweet, okay, I'm safe. So I'm just doing my thing, paddleboarding along. Well, a wake comes, but it was almost like my equilibrium got knocked off because I kind of like went forward. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. And all of a sudden, before I could even think about it, I went forward and it was just like slow-mo roll forward right off my paddleboard. And the boats, I didn't hear it, but my buddy was just up ahead by 20 yards maybe. And he goes, I heard somebody say, oh no. And he goes, I look back and all I see is I have one of them big straw hats that you get from SA or whatever it is. And he says, all I see was that thing bobbing in the water. I'm like, yeah, I was underwater trying to get back up. I'm like, man, I felt like such an idiot. I did so good, didn't fall off at all. And then that. But it was like, I thought about it. I'm like, I don't even know how I fell off. And then I was thinking, I'm like, daggum boat wake.
Yeah.
Come through. And he goes, yeah, I heard them say, oh, no. And all I see was you bobbing in the water. I was like, yeah. Well.
How many sharks you run into?
I mean, I didn't see any, but they're out there.
Yeah. What's the chances you get bit by one of them if it comes?
Not that likely.
I didn't think so.
No, I mean, you're not dealing with great whites. And
yeah.
I mean, now, there are some aggressive sharks along the beaches.
Well,
people
sharks
do get,
are pretty
people do get bit, but I mean,
last year's the first year I took my diving knife with me.
Yeah,
they were having a bunch of shark attacks.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it happens.
You know, the thing, you got to see them coming though. If they come up,
they're fast.
Yeah,
they're real fast.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's like one of those things where if they're breeding or it's feeding time or something like that, I mean, you're kind of susceptible to getting bit. But I don't know. I've never been bit. I remember back in the day when I had my boat, we'd go out and I'd get my chunks of fish put on and throw out, get all my hooks set for sharks, and then we'd go swimming for a while, and then get back in the boat and get ready to start reeling sharks in, but I've never been bit, thank God. But I don't know. You just try not to think about what's underneath you when you're swimming.
Yeah.
Because you just won't get in the water otherwise, I guess.
Yeah.
But you would think for as many millions of people get in the water, the chances are
low. I've always heard that you're more likely to be attacked by a cow than you are a shark.
More likely to be attacked by a cow?
That's what I've always heard. But we're around cows all the time, so we don't think nothing about it. And every now and then you will, somebody get run over by one or something.
Like a cow, like a heifer cow?
Yeah, not like
a bull. Like you would think of a bull.
Usually it's when you're, pushing them or something like that.
Okay.
I think I'm not a cattleman, so I don't really know, but I think some of the bulls can be mean and stuff like that. And
that's what you always think of when
smaller, calves and stuff that they'll get kind of ornery sometimes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, anytime I think of a cow attack, I think of a bull attacking somebody.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've never had any bad run-ins. Property we had in Florida for a little while in Arcadia, they had cows on that property as we leased that land on the river, Peace River, and the cows would come up, and there was some orange trees and stuff on the property, so we'd grab some oranges, and the cow would come right up like a dog and just eat your...
Yeah, that's the way it is most of the time.
So we never had any necessarily bad experiences with cows, thankfully. And no bad experiences with sharks, so yeah. I don't know.
Good deal.
But, needless to say.
I mean, I'm getting in the water regardless, but I just don't, I'd rather not get bit by a shark.
Preferably staying bite-free is good.
If I had my druthers,
Yeah,
I'd rather
exactly. Not. Well, having your knife with you will at least keep it from eating you.
It's probably more for just helps my feelings.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, too. Like, just having, carrying a gun or carrying a knife on you just makes you, doesn't mean you're actually safe. It just makes you feel that way, that you are. So, I don't know. Unless you really know how to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're like John Lovell and them guys, you can take that knife out and slash a shark up, have it filleted out in 2 seconds
have
before it
had a chance. Have it on the grill by that evening.
Have it on the grill before it even know how to bite you,
Yeah.
That's not me. I'm not a ninja, so I would probably get eaten.
But yeah.
So, I guess we need to get serious at some point with this podcast. But this last week has been kind of rough for our church and anybody close to our church, and especially our pastor. Let's see. Today, when this goes out, it'll be Tuesday. It's Monday morning now. Sunday, a week ago this last Sunday, we went to church. Pastor Russ is up there just having a good time. He said he didn't have his notes, and he was just going on. He was he had to keep catching himself and getting back on track, kind of thing, you know. Russ, he gets so fired up with his preaching, and just, man, he just loves the Lord and loves people and loves spreading the word, you know. Everything's great. So we're, going about our week after church, going about our week, and I got a text from somebody that said, "Did you hear about Russ?" And I didn't really think a lot about it. I was pouring concrete at the time, and I couldn't really stop to take it. But then they called me, like, within a couple minutes of me not answering. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" He says, "Did you hear about Russ?" I'm like, "No, what happened?" He's like, "He died." I'm like, "Wait, what? Russ? What?" And it almost seemed not real. But then I got another phone call. And then just the word spread like wildfire after that. And I just thought, man, and it was like, what a blow. What a blow to our church and the people that he knew. And man, to know Russ, man, that dude was a character. He was cool. He had a good sense of humor. He loved the Lord. Just an all-around solid dude, and it was definitely an honor getting to know him and having him as our pastor and the leader of our church. And him and his wife are amazing leaders. And just when you think of a leader of a church, him and his wife were the exact example of what that would be. Just amazing. They served. They would go out of their way to help people. I know when we had that freeze and no water, like people, they were bringing water to people that were without water. And it was like, they contacted us, "Hey, do you need water?" Because we were on the tail end of Hamilton's water service, and we're like, "Hey, well, we'll meet you, or we'll come and get it." Like, nope, we're coming to your house right now. It was like, it was no issue for them to just go serve people like that. You know what I mean? It was just, I don't know. I fumble words a lot with expressing some of these feelings and things that I'm thinking, but, what an amazing man, what an amazing husband and father. And it's just a blow that he got taken just out of nowhere. Seems like, guess he went in for some procedure, and just didn't make it. And sometimes I wonder if he's just not trying to get out of sharing his chili. He always bragged about his chili and how good it was. And then where's it at? Where's it at, Russ? Where's your chili at, Russ? Never. "Oh, well, it's only for special occasions, he won awards and all this, just, man, he was such a good dude. And I was thinking about it, and somebody asked me how we're doing, and thinking, feeling about this whole thing. And we went to his funeral on Saturday, and that building was packed out with people that knew him, and there was almost no dry eye in that place. And, man, when you think about somebody that you want to model your life after, obviously we're supposed to model our lives after Jesus, after God. But when you think of somebody on earth that that would be a great example to model your life after, that's Russ. Like, and now there's the hashtag going around, "Love like Russ." He loved his wife, loved his kids, loved everybody he encountered. He loved on them. My kids would come in, and he'd be high-fiving and fist bumping, and my kids adored him.
Yeah.
And I know he adored them, and just, he lit up the room everywhere he went. And, man, it breaks my heart for what his family's going through.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
And I know that to some people that may sound weird, but we were talking before I started recording, and you mentioned that if you're a Christian, if you truly believe what the Bible says about where you're going and et cetera, like, we should be celebrating
That's right.
because he's in heaven with
Now,
Jesus.
Yeah. Now
Go
we
ahead.
mourn
Yes.
for our loss, right?
Yep.
And for his wife and his family and their loss, because they've lost. I've only met him one time. You obviously know him well.
Yeah.
They've lost a great man.
Yes.
Right. And the leader of their household and somebody they love and what it means, all that he means to them. They're suffering a great loss. So we
Yeah.
mourn for that.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
But a lot of times I think we can get things mixed up because we feel sorry for him, or we hate this happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I would venture to say I don't know, I'm not there. Never happened to me. I hadn't died yet.
Yeah.
But if he could come back, I would bet you anything he'd say, "Do not feel sorry for me."
Yeah.
Well,
he probably wouldn't want to come back after being
right
in glory. Why would you want to
if
come
you
back?
really believe what you say you believe? He's with Jesus right now.
Yeah.
He's at the. He is.
He's crossed the finish line. He is
right. Yeah.
at
He's
the winner's circle.
Yep.
Like,
That's right. And
I don't know how else to explain it. I mean,
we don't feel sorry for him. It's celebration time for
Yeah.
him. He's partying with Jesus.
Yeah.
And it's we can't even begin to imagine what that's going to be like.
Yeah.
But we mourn the loss of a great man.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the church, is going to impact the church, of course, his family and his friends, and we mourn for us, but we celebrate for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, and his wife, Chrissy, she got up in front of the church yesterday after Pastor Steve gave a message about Moses and how it was when he died, they mourned for 30 days as a group or something, and then after that he goes, "You got to get back." He says, "Your personal mourning is going to look different, but as a whole, people got to see us recover and keep pushing forward and fighting forward."
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a good sermon in honor of Russ, and his wife got up and she she said, "It's funny that you preached on Moses because that story's been on my heart for the last couple of days, about that." So, but she got up, and she's a extremely strong woman, and I don't, like I was saying to you before, Brett. If my wife passed, I don't know if you'd see me for a while. You know what I mean? I'd just be kind of dealing with my own stuff.
Yeah.
Privately and away from everybody. But she was up there, and I'm sure it wasn't easy, but she was honoring her husband, and our church was honoring a great man that he absolutely loved the Lord. And like I told my buddy, it's like, he's a guy that if you're going to model yourself after somebody on earth, he would be a guy to do it, because Russ modeled his life after Jesus. And I mean, he just radiated Jesus everywhere he went. He was just a good dude. And I tried to get him on for his testimony many times, but he's a busy man, and I didn't want to try to dip into his private time, because from what I understood too is that we talk about the what do you say, the importance levels of where God's first, our family's wife is second,
yeah.
And I believe that he took that seriously and practiced that to a T, where he had his priorities in order, and some things, if it just didn't fit, he wasn't going to mess everything else up just because some hobo wants to ask him for his testimony, So, but I was able to get him on once. with Larry, and so I think kind of in honor to honor him, and I think it would be cool for some of the listeners that knew him to hear his voice again, kind of thing. Next week, I'm going to replay that episode where we had him on. I feel like he didn't have a ton to say on that episode, but he had some to say, and I don't know. I think it'd be cool to just replay that and just kind of in honor of him. And I wish I could have got his testimony because it sounded, some of the things he said when he was talking on that episode triggered my thinking, and I'm like, wait a second, I didn't know this, I didn't know that, and so I'd talk to him once in a while a little bit about some of the things that he said, some of his adventures with mission work and stuff, and I've had a gun held to me, for my faith and this and that, and I'm like, man, I want to get you on because I want to hear this story, and I guess I'll never get that, and that breaks my heart too because I'd have loved to known his life because it sounds like it was full of adventure, so it just, man, he was a great man, and yeah. It's a great loss for us in the church, but I know our church is strong, and his wife got up there and is like, he'd want us to, keep moving forward and all that. And she said a lot of things that it's just like, what a strong woman. Like, just, I know my wife looks at her as somebody that she looks up to, and I don't want to say idolize because that's not the right words. I just don't know how to get the right words out, but she highly respects her, and she highly respected Russ too, for that matter, and looked up to them as mentors. And we're grateful for the time that we had with them. And so I would just ask everybody to, keep his family in your prayers.
Yeah.
Just keep them in your prayers. They're strong. They're gonna mourn and struggle and have all the emotions, I'm sure, but just keep them in your prayers. And it just kind of, with his passing and just thinking on who he was, and we went to the funeral home and it showed pictures with him and his family and the grandkids and his kids and yada yada yada, and it's just like, it kind of made me think, what kind of legacy am I leaving behind? And I don't know that life should be all about this legacy per se, but that man lived a life dedicated to Jesus, So it's not like he was this, mega millionaire and he created all these things and did all those things. Like, that's a legacy that doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
But Russ Hill had an impact on the men in his church heavily, but also all the people in our church and all the people throughout his life. I mean, that, I'm telling you, when we were at the funeral home, that place was slam packed with people, and it was just like a assembly line of people coming through to view him, to give their respects to his wife and daughters, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like when I die, I don't need a ton of people showing up and doing all this stuff, but it's like, what kind of legacy did I leave behind? What did I do to make an impact for the kingdom? Because I think that's where I'm getting at with this legacy thing is, he made a huge impact for the kingdom of God. Like, it wasn't just him being a great guy and cool and funny and all that, because he was, but he loved God and he shared that with everybody, and you could just see it. You just knew it. And I think about my life and how my kids look at me and how I treat my kids and how I do things, and it's like, man, there's so many ways I could improve. There's so many things that I could let go and not badger my kids about, or just, instead of feeling sorry for myself because I'm tired because I had a long, rough day, give them the last bit of me that I've got for the rest of the day, and I can get my rest later. Mm-hmm. And then even with my wife, it's like, from my understanding, he dedicated mornings to go on walks with her, and he was in the Word heavily because, I mean, the dude knew the Bible through and through. It was unbelievable how well he knew the Word. he could just spit them out, and not just knowing it, but he lived it.
Yeah.
You know, people can know things and it's not a big deal, but he lived it. And so it makes me, you know, reflect on myself and wonder, you know, how I've been doing it wrong for so long and how I need to start changing things and just do better for myself, I guess, and for my family. And it's not that Russ was Jesus, because he's not, but he reflected Jesus through how he lived. And so it's like, I want to do the same thing. Like, when people encounter me, I want them to know that I am a follower of Christ and that I love Christ and that I live for him. And I know that most people probably don't know the difference when I'm out and about. You know, they just think, oh, that's just another dude, you know, just doing his thing. But Russ made an impact on everybody he met, you know, so I don't know. It's cool. So it kind of made me think of legacy and what are we leaving behind when we're gone? Is it just, well, there's Jared laying there. Oh, well, you know, he liked to party and do all these things, or, you know what I mean? That's where a lot of people are going to be left at is, man, he was a drinker. He was a fighter. And that's not me, but I'm just saying, like, that's what a lot of people's remembering for a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's like, man, I want to be remembered as somebody that loved God. And I reflected that everywhere I went. And my kids got to experience that. My wife got to experience that. And they can rejoice in knowing that I'm with Christ in heaven, rejoicing and partying. And I just pray and hope that they're strong enough too, you know, to handle that burden that happens with anybody dying, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just made me reflect on a lot of things, and it's like, man, like, I need to step up. And this is kind of that forging process, you know, getting a little taste of fire to get me kind of straightening back out and where I need to be.
Yeah. You know, Lovell talks about legacy in his book, and I can't remember exactly how he brings the point around, but he's saying he's saying to focus on goodness, not greatness, meaning, you know, like the world, and we can fall into this too very easily. We idolize greatness, like you know, Bill Gates or
famous
Donald
ball
Trump,
players or mega
or
millionaires,
the best ball players that's ever been, or whatever. And that was my lane as far as a small town. I used to want to leave a legacy of a great baseball accomplishments or whatever it was. But you know, Ecclesiastes, I know I've talked a lot about Ecclesiastes, but that was just, the first time I read through that was just an awakening for me.
Really?
Yeah, it's like all that stuff, you know, that crap don't matter. It's gonna burn.
Yeah.
You know, any accomplishments, amount of money you make, whatever. None of that really matters. You want to do something that lasts forever, get involved in the kingdom's work.
Yeah.
You know, get somebody, be there for somebody to help them get to Jesus. That's going to last forever.
Yeah.
Eternity. That's going to last forever. And the Bible tells us, you know, don't store up your treasures here on earth.
Yeah. Where rust
You know,
and moth
can corrupt. You
Yeah.
want to store up treasures in heaven. And you know, people. I don't know Russ very good, but I'm assuming he probably didn't have a whole lot of treasure stored up here on earth.
Yeah.
But from what you've said about him, he's probably pretty wealthy right now.
In heaven, yes.
Yeah. And,
Oh yeah.
You know, and that's going to last forever.
Yeah.
And you know, we get so tied up in the world because, I mean, it's our reality. We're here.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, we live in it. So it's really hard not to let it get its hooks in you at some point. But I mean, this is only temporary. It's just a breath.
Yeah.
That's what Ecclesiastes tells us over and over and over. It's all vanity. We're all going to die. We're all going to leave here. It's just breath. It's gone. It's like a vapor, you know.
Yeah.
But eternity is eternity. It's going to last forever. And whatever the crowns are and the rewards or whatever, that's what's going to last forever. Now, there's another way of looking at our legacy here. And what I would focus on is his wife and his kids. What has he left them with? Has he left his mark of good character on them? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's what you're talking about when I pass. I hope that I have left a mark of character, and I have got through to my kids and my wife that the things that I've learned, that this stuff does not matter. You know, this earthly stuff, how much money you make, how big a house you got, how great a ball player you were, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
None of that matters.
Yeah.
You know, it's all gonna burn up.
Yeah.
And you know, the only things that are gonna last are kingdom things.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's where we're best to invest.
Yeah. That will have the greatest return.
Mm-hmm. And so
man.
you talk about, modeling after Jesus. Just, love God, love people.
Yeah.
And it's really, to boil it down in its simplest form, that's it. It's really hard to do.
Yeah, I'll say it sounds super easy. Just love God and love people. Well, that's
Yeah.
hard. Have you been out on them roads lately? Have you
It's hard.
interacted with
Yeah.
other people? Takes everything within you to love everybody.
But that's what Jesus did.
Yeah, it is.
And so sounds like he left a good legacy.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah. Man. Well, I think we'll keep this short and sweet unless you got anything else you want to talk about. I think that gives people to kind of ponder on is what kind of legacy are you leaving behind? What are you doing today to honor your family and those around you and live for Christ and show that? What are you doing that reflects Christ in your life? If you can't think of anything, then it's probably a good time to start changing that.
Mm-hmm. I will say this: if you hadn't read Lovell's book, it's called The Warrior Poet Way.
Yeah,
and it's a very good read. And
Yeah.
he talks about, you can't. I'm probably going to butcher this, but I've kind of went through this journey myself. You can't really live until you face your death. We're all going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Get your head out of the sand. It's going to happen. It may happen at 20. It may happen at 80.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to happen. So you go ahead and walk through that, find out what's important, the important things, and then you live it. Think about, do some self-evaluating. Think about what you want said at your funeral. What's this guy all about?
Yeah.
Grab that book. He's going to say it a lot more eloquent than me.
Yeah.
But think about that. Whenever you do leave this life, what kind of legacy are you going to leave on your kids,
Yeah.
your wife, your friends, your church? You know, is it going to be like Rust, where the people close to you are going to say, this is a major loss? You know, this is a high caliber man.
Yeah.
This is a man of faith. He meant it. He
Mm-hmm.
lived it.
Yeah.
This is real. Or is it going to be more, you know, he made a lot of money. He had a lot of earthly accomplishments. But the loss is not as heavy.
Yeah.
You know, family may be fighting over your estate
Yeah.
instead of reflecting on what you left them.
Yeah. Well, think about it too. You know,
Character.
a lot of these guys that leave behind tons of money, the family's not necessarily fighting over, man, if I just had one more minute with them. It was, hey, look at all the money we're getting.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that Russ's family is just wishing for one more minute. That's all they cared. I can only imagine, just because he was just a great guy to be around. And he was a loving guy. Like,
Yeah, and I would challenge anybody to think, if they've ever seen somebody who was terminally ill, knew they were going to die, or was on their deathbed, has anybody ever said, I wish I could have made just a little bit more money? I wish that I could have won one more state championship, or one more national championship, or whatever it may be. You know, I wish that I could have, started a successful business. No, that ain't the things they talk about. You know, I wish I would have spent more time with my kids. I wish I would have went on those walks with my wife. I wish I could have lived without fear. You know, I wish that I had walked with God the way I should.
yeah. Man.
I got a feeling, from what you've told to me, probably wasn't a whole lot of regrets. I'm sure he I'm sure he would be there for his wife and kids.
Yeah.
You know, and that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But
And this was just a freak thing. It wasn't like he was terminally ill with something, and just
right,
it was
happened.
just like, oh,
it can
boom.
happen to any of us.
Yeah. Yep. Well, do you think that verse that we were talking about earlier kind of fits this conversation?
For our own personal reflection, I would say yeah.
If you don't mind, go ahead and read that.
Okay, so this is David's final words to Solomon, and Solomon's young buck whenever he's telling him this, but David's about to die. He says, I am going, this is the NLT version, I am going where everyone on earth must someday go. Take courage and be a man. Observe the requirements of the Lord your God and follow all his ways. Keep the decrees, commands, regulations, and laws written in the law of Moses, so that you will be successful in all that you do and wherever you go. That's David's last words to Solomon.
Man. Yeah. So, I don't know. I hope that we honored him in some way.
Maybe.
Not the beginning, but at some point. But no, man,
No, I'm so sorry
Yeah.
to the family, his church,
Yeah.
all those that are close to him and he's had an impact. It sounds like a great loss.
Yeah. It was. It is. Yeah, we got to look back on all the memories that we had, and fortunately, they were good ones, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh man,
But he's doing just fine.
yeah, yeah. He's living the best life now.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes hard to see and think, but it's true. If like you said, if we believe what the Bible says, he's in the ultimate place to be.
Right.
So, in the meantime, I just pray that God will give strength and comfort to his wife and kids and family and everyone around that was impacted by him, and maybe that'll help them to reflect on their life and have a desire to live more for Christ and have him shine through them and everything that they do. So I know it's impacted me in that way. So with that, I think we're going to close this out. Chris, if you're listening, we love you. We're praying for you. And we're thankful for you guys. And other than that, we love you guys. We out. Thank you guys for listening. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram and follow us so you can stay up to date with latest podcast drops and content. Also, feel free to leave us a review on whatever streaming platform you're listening from. We'll catch you next week.